Man, Glory Suffering is just such a fun passive. You can do so much with it. Round Guard, Gardener's Gloves. Okay, I do want to assemble a Bad Cheese build. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that this run. However, Round Guard is almost certainly a piece that you also need for a Bad Cheese build. And I may not find the other pieces required for a Bad Cheese build, so I'll start off with the Round Guard. It's also just like a very, 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 very solid passive on its own. As opposed to Bad Cheese, which is more of a passive that you kind of need it to be a threshold if you want to get good value out of it. Which it can be. It very much can be sometimes. You just wouldn't usually expect it to. Alright, great cash collection here. I was hoping to get to 50, but oh well. I'm sure that'll be easy enough post-combat. Smoke mod, amazing now that it's doubled. Branch of Ember. I mean, look, smoke mod sounds like it should be pretty cool. Of course, I don't exactly get any value from Branch of Ember immediately. This is definitely okay. Bad Cheese build very much online now. We can work with that. Now that I've done that, I can't do double store. If I am going to try and set up a Bad Cheese build, just forcing as many stores as possible sounds really good. I might even be able to get the full AFK variant of it. Just depends on which area 2 boss I fight on, when I can assemble that kind of thing. It's been ages since I've been able to full AFK Bad Cheese though. That would be pleasant. I've already got the Round Guard. I've already got the Orboros. Like, this is literally 2 out of the, I guess, 4 steps. It's basically 3 steps though. I just need to find Bad Cheese, which may be hard. I know that I've already turned down a Branch of Ember, but man, if I could find another Branch of Ember, that would be absolutely sick. I would adore that. That is a very good orb there. I'm not going to pick it up. I shouldn't pick up an orb if I'm going to work towards Bad Cheese. At least all the enemies have 2 blind now. Hitting the bombs early, not great. Hitting the crit right here, absolutely crucial for our game plan of actually winning. Otherwise we just deal basically no damage, and I don't know, I kind of like dealing damage. Like, we hit like no pegs if I do this, but again, I just feel like I need to hit a crit. That's much more like it. Alright, this time I'll go something like this, try and get some bombs, potentially it can get the crit, but it should also just hit a lot of pegs, which is the main reason why I took that shot. I'll do that, try and bounce onto the bomb, but more importantly I'm trying to bounce around the area where the refresh is so I can get that eventually. Okay. When you have the Orboros early on, it's very easy to just naturally drop a whole bunch of health because of it. The tempo that you get from Orboros early on can be minimal, shall we say. So like dropping this much health in this fight really isn't that bad. Double tap? Not quite. It's fine, I do want to hit this last bomb though. There we go, now let's... Oh, you didn't die to that. I forgot that you are slightly tankier. Alright, good. We have enough shots to finish off everyone now, so I can just collect gold on every single shot because the Echo will do the damage for me. Or, okay, maybe not for all of it, but for most of it. Good stuff there. Like, only dropping 20 health in the only elite, in one of the elites that I'm taking, I'm more than fine with that. Very interesting. Well, full blind build sounds incredibly fun. If that works out, I'll be exceptionally happy. I don't need to do Bad Cheese. I would just love to do Bad Cheese, definitely. Oh, God. It's so good here. Realistically, it's fine for me to take it. I can just remove it if I actually do find Bad Cheese, and if I don't find Bad Cheese, then it works perfectly for the bomb game plan that I've got going on. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. I think I'll be buying that remove, eh? I do not want 2 Orboroses in my deck. Oh, mamma mia. These are exceptionally good. I think I prefer... I should just take the good one. If I get bad cheese, actually it won't matter, but if I'm trying to force... Okay, if I'm trying to force blind refilibuster, it's unfortunate. If I'm trying to do bad cheese, it's a great pick because it keeps me alive. Refresh perspective is definitely very decent. Oh my god. I'll just take the good passive. It's the correct choice, simply. Oh, a lot of gold there. Don't mind if I do. That is another passive. Ain't that grand. I'm just going to take healing. Adventuring is like extremely solid there, but I think I'll pass on it. Oh right, wow, I mean, first of all, just insane. Let's get rid of you, and let's now look at House of Slime. I mean, look, it's House of Slime Rubble, like, I could consider Decoy a bit more, but I really am only ever going to care about Decoy Orb if I get Wool. And even then, it's only +1 turn on Wool, whereas House of Slime is just extremely good. Like, yeah, if I had 30 more gold, different story, but I don't have 30 more gold. In fact, I do not. I'm just going to do that straight up. Think it's worth it. Okay. I was hoping to get a lot more value from that shot. A lot more value. Let's try and... Yeah, thank you, hit that refresh. Nah. No, you don't. 2-4 versus +20 echo damage. That really ain't much, is it? Well, the good news is, actually, I don't lose any health this fight, right? Definitely exceptionally good news. I would just like to have an actual comp, though, and not need to pull off this kind of nonsense, because as fun as this is, blind stuff is really cool. Also, if I can just turn this into bad cheese, that would be perfect. The fact that I'm healing while doing this as well is just hilarious. Like, even if I was only losing slightly less health, I'd still be happily doing it. Just because it means I'm not taking the Minotaur smacks, and currently, in case you haven't noticed, my deck is atrocious. It's not good. It has great potential, but great potential doesn't get me anywhere, does it? Not currently. So, need to make sure to upgrade rolls so that I actually have a real orb in my deck. That's a Mask of Joy and a Lucky Penny. Both are extremely cool. If I'm doing bad cheese, neither of them should matter. Obviously, Perfected Reactant Recombobulate is kind of insane, but I don't want to focus bomb stuff, I want to focus blind stuff. Which means ideally picking up with safety pegulations, but I doubt that'll happen. I think we'll take Lucky Penny. It's got the best synergy with additional rare relics. I'm fine with that. My health is in a very, very fine state at the moment. Yep, having the 2 additional crits should just mean my Rubble gets a crit. And if my Rubble gets a crit, well, I'm not really too worried about killing things. For Rubble is known to be quite efficient at doing that. Wow, the damage drops off a cliff at level 1, doesn't it? The high level Orboros actually does maintain damage, but it would seem this one does not. That refilibuster does a whole lot of damage there, doesn't it? I can get rid of Orboros at any time, yes. Is absolutely not required for what I'm doing here. My build is straight up good enough. So, yeah, good. The only reason why I wouldn't want to get rid of it is if I fight one specific Area 2 boss, which no way I would fight him, right? No way. Good enough. I swear that like the last 2 times I've tried to cheese, I've gotten Demon though, so I really, really do hope that I don't get him again, but honestly, I'm expecting it. Straight up, I'm expecting it. Oh, damn. I don't know, I kind of wanted that shot to be good, but I kind of didn't. But I wanted to shoot a cool shot, I guess. After all, I knew that he was going to take the next 10. Bam. I mean, let's just shoot Rubble again. I just like Rubble, I think it's neat. Oh, you lived. Congratulations, I guess. Live this. I mean, the chance he does is good. He has 2 mutuals in front of him. I didn't think the odds that I missed both bombs were that bad, but oh wow, he's not surviving this. because I'm going to hit the refresh and he's going to instantly die. Alright, let's see what we get. There's the safety regulations I asked for. You know what? You know what? This actually sounds like an amazing build, doesn't it? There we go. So let's force all stores, try and get as many treasure chests as possible, and fully lean into bad cheese if possible. 2 stores, 1 extra treasure chest, 1 elite. A rubble that is going to be completely amazing, and I can just cycle most enemies like this one. Alright. This looks pretty solid, doesn't it? Also I have Pierce. Oh, my passive! So, when I say that I picked up safety pegulations because it decreases bomb damage, I mean I kind of totally forgot that I now have 2 levels of Pierce for a rubble, which is actually like super duper insane, but I wasn't thinking about it whatsoever. I just wanted to get more blind on enemies. Perfect. Alright, so I do want to buy a remove in the first store. That's also something I want to do. It's hilarious just how much health I'm losing to the Orboros. It also just doesn't matter though, so I could technically keep it in my deck for a while. Depending on what I find in the store, that might be the case. Although, actually that's just not possible. I already have 230 gold. If I had less gold, sure, but simply that's not the case. I have a very decent amount of gold simply because I didn't buy much in the first store. I had quite a bit of gold lying around, unfortunately. Oh, here we go. We have this fight. Well, I'm back, and this time I have safety pegulations with rubble, and safety pegulations with rubble is hopefully a whole lot better than the circle scaling I was trying to do previously, because it was really, really strong. I just couldn't hit pegs on this map, and thus it didn't work. Rubble doesn't need to scale though. I also can't scale, but I don't need to scale, so that's always that, right? Oh my god, it's just hilarious how much easier this fight was this time around, right? Actually having the proper number of removals in your deck, Rubble being an incredible orb that doesn't need to rely on scaling. Oh lord, I literally healed in that fight. Okay, I'm not sure if my health was actually down enough to heal, but effectively, right? Alright, there we go. I have Filibuster, but I'm still just fine with this. Let's just full buy molten gold. Yeah, you know. At the minimum, I'll have enough gold to rebuy a bad cheese. But honestly, I very easily could get back up to 200 gold, especially considering the fact that I got a molten gold. Molten gold is just a lot of extra cash, and 3 guaranteed fights. I suspect that's a 4th. Oof. Great stuff. Yeah, this should just be a really, really good run. I'm hoping that I can bad cheese. Actually, am I even more? Like, this is actually such an amazing build that do I even want to bad cheese? I've got such ridiculous levels of... Let's be honest. The comp that I'm using right now, it's already won. There's like nothing that can stop me from winning, apart from myself. You know, if I pick a particularly bad boss passive, I can definitely throw the run. But apart from me, I basically have this win, right? Like, so that being said, I'm not going to try and throw the run. However, my sole goal this run, I think I'm potentially going to ditch the bad cheese game. I might switch back onto it later. We'll see what I get, right? But I really want to focus on building out a good blind build. I tried to do that with my boss passive. I didn't realize just how strong it was going to make my rubble. I kind of forgot about the whole purpose of the boss passive, you know? Honestly, oh my. Pumpkin Pie is really good as well. And also, like, since the change is not really that bad, I'm definitely just going to lean debuff bomb stuff, though. That is exactly what I'm trying to do. And admittedly, there's no point in trying to lean... Just reduce, sure. There's no point in trying to lean full blind stuff, because the rubber is just going to kill them. So I can't really just expect that they're not going to be enemies left to get to 100 blind. So I will definitely allow myself to stack up my spin infection while I do it. Since the goal is just debuff, not specifically blind, it's just blind is certainly easier for this class than any other debuff, isn't it? Well, usually transparency is also pretty good. Yeah, 192 gold. You see what I mean by we will just have more than enough cash gen. I still have 2 more fights to go. Like, and imagine I hit a short fuse right there. Like, it would have been so much extra gold because I could have greeted this. Do I have no inflation? I don't have inflation. Well, it's an extra 30 gold minimum, so a ton. I just don't need it. But that's just mostly due to Rubble getting an absolutely incredible amount of gold every single shot because it's just hitting so much. I do have House of Slime. I do have House of Slime, but I don't even have like multiple or momentum generators apart from House of Slime. Like, oh, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty damn awesome. Alright, I really could assemble a cheat build pretty easily here. Man. Like, I feel like this is the kind of reason why I like safety pegulations so much. Because, like, there are some orbs, like Rubber Orb, where if you just pick it up with a safety pegulations, it's just going to completely obliterate enemies. AKA, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that I got so unlucky with that Paladin Cruci 12 one. It's still just crazy to me. That was such an insane run. Like, how? Like, I know that is the downside of safety pegulations, but still. I mean, the takeaway is just Rubble is the best orb in the game, you know? Look, I haven't actually bought the Rubble, but I just want to point out, like, I only added the Rubble to my deck because it was offered for free, and like, alright, we don't get it here. I will pick up everything, don't exactly lose anything by doing so. I don't have a way to win if I remove the Rubble from my deck though, so shan't be doing that just yet. Pretty sure we get a good 1000 damage on the first shot. Sorely mistaken apparently. I thought I'd stay up for a bit longer. Recombobulator, the safety regulations is amazing. Filibuster is just going to rip apart the paintings though, isn't it? That's fine. I mean, look, it is completely and totally fine. It just means that I might actually stack up Super Spinfection on myself. I don't know, I don't think that the boss is going to have enough time to stack up Super Spinfection on me. And well, it looks like no, I can't hit anywhere near enough bombs to try and match the Spinfection they have. The refresh shield we filibuster every time is pretty troll here, isn't it? Well, I'm sure I'll be able to assemble a cheese comp sometime soon, but it is hilarious just how hard it's been for me to reassemble it. There was a meta, oh my god, it would have been ages ago, where you would just try and head towards bad cheese every single time. It was just like extremely easy to build towards. You could hit it like 1 every 3 runs or something, I think. I don't know, I remember I was hitting it so much. But I mean, I presume it's just passive density that's made it a lot harder to hit. There's just more passives in the game now, and apparently that's enough. Apparently that's enough. Anyway, I believe this should be the last Rubble. We don't have any scaling or any kind of massive damage benefits, so it makes sense that we kind of just have to hit a whole bunch of pegs for 8 damage each. And that being said, you know, like, we're still getting like 600 damage here. Like, that is crazy. More Spinfection. I'm not trying to directly lean into it. I see Wonderful Sculpture Wrath will kill me. Radiant Trinket. This looks like it could very easily be a skip, doesn't it? I will, however, just grab a lovely loot thrust for later. It could work out amazingly. I was hoping for triple store the moment I saw that double store back there, but double store will do. Although double elite is also extremely tempting, isn't it? I'm gonna have the gold for double store, that's the thing. So like, I might as well go there. And in theory, I would still like to get bad cheese. Well, Coin Dragon is definitely something I've already done before. My bombs give a whole bunch of gold, so I might as well get a whole bunch of gold from my bombs. That was not really a whole bunch though, was it? Let's not get orbs added to our deck, shall we? I would greatly appreciate not getting them added. Bomb Baton, that's actually really, really good. Also, very minimal chances for navigation inflation, but I technically should wait. I don't really gain any benefits from popping it just now. I have safety pegulation, so that should make this fight a whole lot faster. I'm really, really hoping we can get refresh synergies. Punch would be insane. I could get so much Spinfection off of Punch, and I'm fighting Coin Dragon down. If I was fighting the Super Sapper, I could line it up so that I'm trying to target flying minions consistently, and that means I might not get a super early kill on him. Obviously, you know, that wouldn't happen, and I would just murder him within 2 shots, but nice to dream about, right? I just don't think I can properly pull off the debuff game plan that I'm hoping for. And I think I'd be happy to finish off this run with a bit of cheese if I can find it. I just need to actually find it. I definitely have the cash for double store now. I believe this should be the last shot. Oh yeah, definitely. Bye-bye. There we go, there's a Matryoshka. Matryoshka is a great Dorb and all, but I've kind of already got Criticus. Interesting. I'm trying to formulate a very interesting game plan. Criticus, if I get refresh also crit, I think definitely falls under that category. Base 8 is more than enough to get massive numbers off of Criticus. And with how many refreshes I've got on the board, and crits as well technically, I guess, I think I could get some really interesting nonsense going with that. I just need to actually find it, which undoubtedly isn't happening, but you know, it's nice to dream about, right? Currently this run has a lot of stuff that I'd really love to hit, and not many opportunities to hit it, eh? That's a summoning circle. I could very much add the summoning circle to my deck and remove it just in case I did want to choose. I think I'll... Fine. It's a summoning circle, like, you really expect me to turn around a summoning circle? That's just so hard to do. Minimal greed, but that's not going to stop me from collecting this lovely +4. I guess if I get inflation as well, I'm like super set. I will discard something circle if it's not shooting a rubble though. I don't have ambidextrous yet. Okay. Well, I won't need ambidextrous. No, there we go. That's the lineup I wanted. Because you know it's better than one rubble. 2 rubbles, 22 blind. Yeah, there's definitely some maps where I'll be able to get the debuffs that I'm looking for, but you know what I may do next? I may try a UC20 Rowell run where I start off with some amount of cool debuff passives and see if I can formulate a debuff build from there. It sounds pretty hard to be honest. Might be quite challenging, but I'm hopeful. Strange Brew, definitely really solid here, especially oh, there's just no point in me taking the sand arrows. Enemy's going to be dying so fast. There we go. So if I got Refreshing Punch, I think that'll be the most fun this run could have. So I actually am going to go to the right. That way I still have 1 store, you know. I can no longer do the bad cheese game plan if I do this, but I think this is just a very fine trade for me to make. The refresh nonsense with Criticus spam, I think is just so fun. Like look at, yes, perfect. And it's just really hard to pull off. Usually you're limited to custom runs for doing this kind of stuff, and if I can get a refreshing punch, you know, I could... I'm gonna aim for an OTK on the Coin Dragon then. Just killing him with Criticus. It is possible depending on the map. I think it's very unlikely though. There is a peg bag, which is definitely amazing, but the dream is almost dead. There is still one last hope. So much gold. Nothing to spend it on. This should be a kill very easily. Criticus is just going to wipe the floor with every single enemy. Yeah. Like, when you can assemble Criticus combos, they're so fun. But, you know, most of the time Criticus is just not going to do anything. And you just can't expect it to either. Alright, yeah, we get double debuffs here. Doesn't really matter, but it's cool. Okay, but actually, that was like a 300 damage. That kind of does matter. Oh, that's a really good split. I think that split only works for rubble though. Because I got 1 orb over here, 1 orb over here, and 1 orb like over there. It's really good if I can replicate it. I just don't think I'll be able to replicate it because I think it's a rubble specific thing. 538 gold. Yeah, I would have been stacked up for the double soul, wouldn't I? Yeah, Criticus just rips them apart. Literally just took care of all of the enemies. Alright, it's time to see, would I have been able to assemble bad cheese? Imagine there's a refreshing punch right there. Okay. Oh, it was nice to dream about, wasn't it? We'll just buy all the passives, none of them are negative for us. It's impossible for me to get a Criticus ODK here, but if ever there was going to be a shot, it would look something like this. This map is like remarkably good for it. I got the Summoning Circle into roll, and the refresh are just not in a good enough spot for it though. But that's not going to stop me from getting a solid 2000 damage first shot, plus 800-ish burn damage, basically. I mean, that's very solid. Very, very solid indeed. I get to line it up again, perfect. Now we basically get another 2000 damage off that, I believe. Plus a lot more burn damage. Yeah. Wow, that's hilarious. I only saw the one bad cheese this run, eh? Unfortunate. It is what it is. We definitely were meant to take round guard there, and I'm happy we did because, I mean, technically this run would have... Do we win? Oh yeah. Do we win against... I think, actually, if we take bad cheese, I think we win against Minotaur. I was going to say, this run would have been dead in the water versus the Minotaur. But that's incorrect. I think if we discard spam, losing 4 health per discard, and then he probably gets 2 hits off on us. I think we're down to like less than 20 health if we do this. But I think we might actually win that. Interesting. It's actually a pretty good test, honestly. I might try and test that later. I'm pretty sure you'd lose that, but there is a chance you'd win. But round guard just allows you to full cheese that, especially since we had the world on stake there just to keep killing us. Actually, with world on stake, we would have had world on stake for that as well. World on stake, Orboros, bad cheese versus Minotaur with only 1 orb in your deck. Is that a win? It's a really interesting question. Anyway, I had Smoke mod, Recombobulated Choke mod, tried to build a win condition out of that. Didn't really work out, although the Enhanced Gunpowder, Short Fuse, Reduce, Refuse, Recycle Bomb Baton really made it look very tempting, didn't it? I just didn't hit either Alchemist Cookbook or Mask of Sorrow. If I hit both of those, we could have definitely had a conversation about that. And that's probably what I would have aimed for, and I also would have asked for a Crystal Catalyst, because, you know, if you're going to try debuff stuff, you kind of need all of the synergy pieces possible in order to make it, like, better than what you are doing otherwise, because this is, like, one of the best things you can be doing otherwise, right? Oh god, I find it funny just how good Safety Regulations was as a first boss passive, when I wasn't taking it because it was good. I was just taking it because it removes the bomb damage, and I thought this was somehow going to work. Obviously, it didn't end up working out. Yeah, we saw bad cheese once as the selling passive, and never again. So the bad cheese dream was dead. If you can get Orboros for your bad cheese runs, it's so easy to set up runs off of that. But we got the Orboros, we saw the bad cheese, but we just never managed to link the pieces. And honestly, once I picked up the safety regulations, the Rubble game plan certainly looked pretty cool. I didn't even add the Rubble to my deck though. Like, it was like, would you like to spend 0 gold to add a Rubble to your deck? Like, how can you say no to that? It's a Rubble. It's just so fun, so much damage, and most importantly, I really didn't want to upgrade the Orboros, which meant I needed a good orb in my deck, which also means that I needed an orb that I would be happy to remove. And Rubble like fulfilled all of those, as well as it didn't even cost money to pick up, which like that's just a bargain. Yeah, we had good gold that run, I guess. We went to a lot of stores in Area 2 and Area 3, and we actually funny. I guess that's just playing non-Cruciate or Cruciating. Like, you just have so much more access to gold, don't you? Yeah. The Elite Slash related Critic Chris, your refresh also crit stuff was super cool. I didn't really manage to fulfill the full win condition with that, but there are a few fights where it definitely just obliterated enemies, like that the one with the hanging spiders and the bats, you know. In Area 3, that one was solved with that very easily. Oh my god, some of this stuff would have been so much nicer to find early on, wouldn't